Mark, we're on. How's everybody doing?
Welcome to another exciting week.
Yes, Troy and Mark off the mic and on the live stream here at BaltimoreSun.com. Glad everybody is joining us as we make another foray into the world of the internet.
You look great, man.
Thank you, Mark. You chastised me last week for not wearing a jacket, so I thought I would just, do the full Brian Williams.
I thought it was good, man. I might try to wear a tie next week.
That way you wouldn't get a stain on your shirt. Yeah, tie on.
Forget you, man.
Anyway, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited about this week, Troy. We're going to be brief, so we got to get in and get out.
Yeah, we got to get
busy. A lot of things happening at the Sun today.
Yeah. So if you have questions for us, you can go ahead and get them now, right here at the BaltimoreSun.com. Here's another thing I'd like for people to do. Troy and Mark fan page on Facebook. Go to if you go to the blog, www.baltimoresun.com/Troy and Mark, you look at our most recent post and you'll see there's a link to our fan page. That's a way that you can send questions, connect with us outside of just here every Wednesday at 12 noon. Right. You got options.
That's right. This is a whole new technology, man. We're on top of it all.
Yes, we are. We're on the cutting edge. And it's Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day today. The family got big plans today.
What are you going to do? Everybody going to wear their Birkenstocks?
Yes, we're going to go.
And go sod a lawn or something?
No, smarty pants. We're going to go see the movie.
What movie?
Earth movie. Earth.
Oh, Earth. Yeah.
Yes. Or as my grandmother would say, Earth.
What else are you guys going to do? Any other Earth?
We're going to eat some green ice cream and smoke some weed.
That was 420. That was 420. Yeah.
Wait a minute, really? 420. That was the other day. I missed that.
420. Yeah, 420. 420 day. By the way, we don't condone smoking weed with your children.
No. But
apparently, Mark does. No.
I'm playing. I'm playing.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
For all those employers out there, I'm joking.
420 is this alleged smoking holiday that happens every year on April 20th.
Mm-hmm. I've heard about it.
Supposedly at 4:20 in the afternoon.
On 4:20 at 4:20?
Yeah.
I get it.
Which I think is supposed to be the perfect time for smoking.
Well, was that the day weed was invented or something?
I don't know why.
Okay.
But apparently that's the way they like to do it. So
well, thank you for that, Troy.
But today,
and all sponsors have now left. Thank you.
Today is Earth Day, and the thing that's funny to me about Earth Day is it's gotten a lot more attention this year. Obviously, with the financial crisis and having a president in office who has said we're going to make a committed effort to change vehicle emissions and all of these other things that will make us have a better, greener environment
for our future.
But let's keep it real. Earth Day, I don't remember the actual first Earth Day. I know it was in the early 1970s.
Yeah.
Do you remember that back then when Earth Day was started to be celebrated? Then it took a hiatus.
Yeah.
And I don't think people really know what to do on Earth Day.
I think it's a bunch of hype. But it's, you know what? We got kids. We got to play along. It's a bunch of hype.
It's hype?
It's all hype. I mean, it's Earth Day, but every day, right now as we speak, in all the dentist's office and doctor's office, they have radioactive waste in a canister sitting in their closet that we don't know what to do with. And it's radioactive for 12,000 years. Happy Earth Day. It's like, okay, don't open up that closet.
But does it start with one person?
There's a truck going down the street right now dumping plutonium in the bay. Happy Earth Day. So it's all hype, man.
Does it start with one person?
When you drive into Baltimore right now, that beautiful white smoke that's piping out of that Baltimore stack is killing us. Happy Earth Day. But see, you know what I mean, Troy? Yes, it does start, but it's just kind of like, who are we kidding? Who are we kidding, Troy?
So, okay, well, let me put you...
We're going to the movie because James Earl Jones voiced it, so...
That's why you wanted...
It should be good.
I thought it was going to be a good movie. So, I make you the Czar of Earth Day.
The Czar of Earth Day.
Okay?
Yeah.
You're just an average American, probably don't recycle.
Okay.
I would imagine you're mildly concerned about the environment. I mean, you certainly want to breathe.
We recycle. We do recycle,
Okay.
but I just think it's a bunch of hype. Yeah.
So, if you were the czar,
I'm the czar of Earth Day.
what would you do to
Solar energy.
solar energy?
Yeah, that's it. Solar energy. Here we go. But we can't make without. We gotta do something.
Everything
no more
on solar.
burns. Everything's solar. Everything's guided by the sun. Gotta go. Gotta go. I can't use my car. Oh well, work it out. Solar energy, invent it. See, that's the only thing, Troy, that would stop it. Stop burning all the oil. You don't need the need for the coal. All that's over.
No coal either.
Nothing. None. No emissions. Solar. That's what I would do.
What about water?
Yeah, we can use water too. Thermal also.
You know, I saw an interesting article that says.
Look, man, we're gonna move past this. Earth. Nobody
I
doesn't
know.
get ratings.
Let me just hit you.
Earth doesn't get ratings.
Let me
buddy.
hit you with this. Well,
Okay.
you know what does? Catastrophe.
Yes.
Does.
There we go.
And it's tied into Earth Day. Now, this was in a newspaper in the UK. A story that says a solar superstorm could send us back into the dark ages. That tantalize you a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, here's the thing that's interesting about this. It's 3 years away. Not 100 years from now. You know, when they tell you these kinds of stories about, you know, a meteor is going to hit Earth and it's going to be catastrophic and it's going to take out half of the planet, usually you go, ha, I'll be long dead by then. That's 100, 200 years from now. No, this is 3 years from now.
I don't believe it. Another hype, man. Hype.
You think so? Well, what
Remember Y2K?
I do remember.
Yes,
this is not
hype.
Y2K. This is the
Hype.
It says, let's see. This is not a 1 in a million chance. It's a real threat, according to a couple of scientists, and it's something that happened not too long ago, and it's something that could happen every 11 years. Solar storms don't cause a lot of concerns, but there's this huge solar flare that could a 50,000 mile wide boiling hydrogen plasma on its surface, ejecting a blob of charged gas into space at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
That sounds like me after dinner, actually.
And sometimes they're called coronal mass ejections.
I had one of those in college.
They can go right into the Earth head on. Last time it happened was September 1st, 1859.
Oh, Troy, you silly boy.
Now, the thing that's interesting about, I'm just telling you for the Earth Day story. The thing that's interesting the thing that's interesting about it, Mark, was it happened, you know, over 100 years ago.
Yes.
But we were on a different.
What year was it?
1859.
Yes.
But the difference was we weren't using electricity. We weren't using this power grid that we have on our Earth now.
We're using another source of energy. Slaves.
Yes.
Enslaved Africans.
Steam and muscle. That's what we had back then. So anyway,
Thank you, Troy.
I just thought that
We're moving on because that didn't get any ratings. Green does not get ratings.
But it's important. It is worth just having a discussion. It is Earth Day.
Write us if you believe Earth Day's hype and all this recycling stuff's some hype.
Okay.
Isn't it? Because the thing about recycling that gets me is, isn't it, the bottles, the plastics are bad for the environment.
Yeah.
So you go out and get the case of water, and it's bad for the environment, the bottles. So you recycle the bottles, but the bottles are bad for the environment anyway. Sounds like hype to me, Troy.
Okay.
Speaking of hype,
What do you want to talk about?
Morgan State coach, Coach Bozeman.
Yes.
Give this man his money, Morgan State.
Morgan State basketball team did a great job. Made it to the NCAA tournament.
Yes. NIT last year.
Todd Bozeman, incredible coach, who really the university gave him a second chance.
Yeah.
He made some mistakes when he was in California.
He didn't make any mistakes. He just got caught.
He got caught.
That's the only
That's
mistake.
not a mistake.
No.
Getting caught.
It's a joke. It's all,
Okay.
the NCAA is a joke. All the programs do it. They pay their players one way or the other. And unfortunately, some people get caught. He got caught.
Okay.
And then Morgan State was blessed to get a coach of his caliber. Mm-hmm. That's why they had such a great
So what's
season.
the beef now?
He wants more money, probably.
Okay.
You know, they're basically giving him, allegedly in the paper, giving him an ultimatum till Thursday. My thing is, they don't have any. What cards are they holding, Troy? What leverage does Morgan State have? You got a coach who, like you said, he had a checkered past. They gave him a second chance. He coached up to the level that he
did.
that he is.
Nobody was
reputation.
knocking on his door, though.
And so now they are. So now what cards
You
are
got
Morgan
some
State
other
have?
offers?
I'm sure within the conference you can get another gig and get paid more. But what cards are they holding?
Maybe. I mean, we're talking about Division I basketball.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about a small, historically black college. They don't have the same kind of budget that a Maryland would have.
No.
Even though he's that caliber coach.
Yes.
He's a big school D1 coach.
Yes. At a little bitty Morgan State.
Yeah.
And what he wants is to be treated like a star. This is what kills me about these companies. He wants to be treated like a star,
right?
Because he is a star. But he's fighting over some, beans and cornbread. When he at the end of the day, he wants to be acknowledged for, make him feel special.
Yeah.
We need you. Thank you. Boom. We're gonna show our, some hating going on and some bickering. Black colleges.
I do know, actually. All right.
No disrespect, because I am looking for
Sign him up.
Sign him up.
Sign him up. I like Todd Bozeman. I think he did a great job. Let's give a shout out. By the way, you can, as you watch us streaming live here at BaltimoreSun.com, you can leave a message. You can leave us or ask us questions, stuff like that. Lou says, good afternoon. Says I look good in a suit. Thank you.
Suit works, buddy.
And says Mark Stain looks fabulous.
Thank you.
Let's see. This is Anthony McCarthy.
What's up, Anthony? Media giant.
He says, I'm teaching at UMD. Won't be able to join you live, but it's great to interact with you guys. Peace and blessings. So, thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that. You can leave a message right there and then move on about your business. Just check in and spread the word. Now, Steve, I'm going to talk to Steve off camera a little bit. Steve, the streaming issue. Sometimes people can't get in.
Right.
What do you think is the best way to handle that situation?
Well, if
Get
they're
on
not
early?
getting in, they're not going to hear the advice. But I think they should just keep trying it. And
Keep trying.
if
Some
they can't, send us a message. We'll get back to them and send them an email on how to do it.
Some work situations don't have the speed, right? Some of the
Too much porn has been downloaded at work, and that prevents you from being able to watch us. So
But they can also watch later because we put.
that's
the
right.
tapes.
That's right. So you need to talk to your IT person and have all those computer hard drives defragged, all that porn and internet shopping you've been doing. You can't watch us, but you can go to the blog later on today
and catch us
and catch the video, and you can also look at past weeks.
and send it to your friends.
Yeah.
Troy, Miss USA. Did you watch the pageant?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, I forgot
Miss California.
Miss California, when asked by Perez Hilton about her thoughts on gay marriage, she said she thought that marriage was between a man and a woman, and many are saying that cost her the pageant, and I agree, it did.
She
And she's
there's obviously some fallout behind that. Perez Hilton, that's his thing.
Is he gay?
He is gay, and
I'm playing.
were you surprised? Yeah, he's gay, and he's obviously concerned, about the equal opportunity for gays to be in a union or in a marriage.
Especially since he called her a biatch on his site.
After the fact.
A
Now,
biatch.
before we get to what he did,
I'll tell you what that means.
I think the answer that she gave, she tried to give a very thought out answer. What'd you think of the answer?
Well, I think one of the aspects of competing is you have to want to win. So you need to lie.
So it was more.
Yeah, she was honest. She was honest with her
She
feelings.
was very honest.
Which cost her the thing. I think it would have been better if she lied. If her feelings were what she said, that's when you gotta lie. That's when you gotta just lie. She would have won.
It's funny. Let me sidebar with you. I like how everything that we talk about, you have this element of, hey, who cares?
Because you're in a competition.
I mean,
you're shaking your booty in a contest that's supposed to be about intelligence. You got we're judging your body, your teeth, how you look in a swimsuit, and then it comes down to
a thought-provoking question.
A thought-provoking question, and all of a sudden, you have to be on the up and up. Come on, you're trying to win. I would have said, love is a wonderful thing. that should be shared with people who love each other. There you go. Well, how about that answer? Now you can't. Who can criticize that answer?
You would have been disqualified because of the stain on your shirt. You would have never made it to the final round. So the question and answer.
What do you think? You think you like the fact that she was honest and lost the competition?
No, I think I think there's a moment where people speak their mind, and she did, and she paid the price.
What would you have done?
I don't think that would have been the right answer.
What would you have said?
I would have said what I believe.
Okay, well she did. So you agree with it? You respect her for saying what she believes.
I respect her for saying, but unfortunately,
and you lost.
Unfortunately, we're not on the same page.
So you're saying, well, the good news is Fox offered her a job, so she'll be working.
Fox
she'll
News.
be working there.
Now Perez Hilton, in his response, is equally an ass.
Yes.
Because if you do have an issue with, although her retort was kind of interesting, she's like, "This is my point of view and my answer. He's entitled to his point of view and his answer."
Yeah.
And I got to go with her on that. He's looking for someone who's got a much more open viewpoint. He's looking for a certain thing that he didn't get. So bashing her on the back end, kind of ruins his credibility too.
And also, I think it was unfair. I think it was unfair to her. Like some of those answers, those other young ladies answered were whack. And who threw it's totally unfair to ask her that kind of question and then lob softballs to these other people.
Were they softball questions?
Well, some of them were just I mean that's a very
question.
That's a very insightful topic. I mean a topic very delicate. I don't think it was fair to ask that of her, but we'll see her on Fox News. So the Craigslist killers, killing gets high ratings.
This guy. I mean, there's a lot of death going on. I mean, seriously, there are some issues. We talked about this last week when we talked about the impact of the economy on people, and they're in that level of despair where they don't know what to do, and now they're checking out, and they're taking people with them.
Yeah.
The murder. Suicide in Middletown, Maryland earlier this week. The guy was almost $500,000 in debt. Killed his wife, and I think they had a daughter. We've seen the Freddie Mac chief financial officer today committed suicide. I mean, it's probably a little early to figure out what was going on there, but it would seem there probably was some financial issue. There had to be some kind of strife going on. People are really hurting.
Yes.
And this family in Towson, this family from New York, have a daughter that's 19 years old who is attending Loyola University. And a few details are coming out about that situation. The father killed the family, his wife, the daughter, and their youngest daughter by asphyxiation, and then cut himself and committed suicide, murdered himself. So, I think we're all kind of struggling as to, how do we deal with some of these issues, and not to politicize this, because I know some people are right there at the edge, but it seems like
be careful.
It seems like people aren't getting the care that they need. People are not getting the care they need, not only from a health standpoint, but a mental health standpoint.
Oh man, Troy has been on this mental
health. I'm telling you.
Need a sponsorship, because you've always been a supporter of mental health.
Well, it's true.
I have too, because I have psychiatrists. So
it's true. I think there are people, Mark, and we've had many conversations with folks. We've interviewed lots of people who have overcome obstacles. And could you imagine how much easier it could have been, possibly, if they had received the right kind of mental health care along the way?
And it's tough. I mean, and you're right. I think the interesting thing about murder-suicides, a lot of them are families, husband and wife. And we always talk about the husband being out of the home. I think the reality of, you're right, Troy, with these economic times, the relationship that the husband has with his family, or husband and wife have with each other, becomes very crucial. And you're talking about mental health, and something that a lot of times happens, I notice with marriages, is one person may even say, let's get help, and the other person is hesitant to do so. Mm-hmm. So in these tough economic times, when one person loses his job, let's say me, for example, and you realize that the attitude of your mate plays a huge role. Like,
Absolutely.
Shout out to my wife. I mean, the attitude of your mate, because in these tough times it becomes, we got to survive, you go in survival mode. But to have a mate who understands where you're coming from changes the game, as opposed to the other way, if you have a mate who's not understanding.
Well, I was going to say, it's tough to come by somebody who's really going to be down with you in that capacity.
Yeah.
For those that know marriage vows, it's for better and for worse. And better ain't better. It's not better all the time.
That's right.
The worst comes around a lot.
And the worst is that's when you learn what the relationship is about.
Yeah.
A lot of these people, and another side, unfortunately, obviously, is with the husbands seemingly who are taking these lives. The saddest thing about it is it does speak to how men sometimes feel that they carry the weight of providing everything for the family, and don't see that, death is not necessarily the answer. Or if it is, why don't you just take yourself out? Dad?
Why
leave us alone.
Take everybody else.
But you're right. You're right for the mental health aspect. But
speaking of mental health, let me give a shout out to Charles Robinson, who's watching us. He has a question. First of all, we'll answer on the back end. What's up with Mark's diet? That's his question. And he wants me to give some thoughts. He wants me to give some thoughts about the movie The Soloist, which I had the opportunity to see last night. As a matter of fact, The Soloist is Jamie Foxx's new film with Robert Downey Jr. about a guy named Nathaniel Ayers who was a cello prodigy. Mm-hmm. Went to Juilliard, dropped out, and it's a true story dealing with schizophrenia. The guy's still alive. Actually, there's a great story about him that was done on 60 Minutes a couple of weeks ago. And, this is an example of that mental health care that we're talking about. A guy who is gifted, but goes through life without the proper mental health care. Something changed. I mean, obviously, if he had the capacity and the ability, but, there's just something that changes. Who knows what it could be? And now a guy who had so much promise is now living on the streets, homeless. Where of course we know the movie really depicts an interesting side of like the Skid Row in Los Angeles, which you don't really see a lot of. We all have seen the people dealing with homelessness and stuff like that, but I think in California it's a little different because the weather is better. So people are really out there for real. They're out. Mm-hmm. Out in the elements at all times. It's a good film. If you get the opportunity, yes.
I saw a review. I'm glad you said that because Troy's very honest and very hard on movies. And I really was excited about it. I love music and I love Jamie Foxx. I was excited about the movie. I saw a review in Giant Magazine, and they kind of said, well, they didn't feel like Jamie Foxx captured or went deep enough for the character. They thought they felt like it was a skit. They thought it was funny, and I was like, that's a curse if that's true. You don't agree?
I didn't get that impression. Okay. I mean, it set the tone for me seeing the interview on 60 Minutes. And to give credit to Steve Lopez, who was the writer for the Los Angeles Times, the way that he was writing the story about him, and I'm no newspaper journalist.
But he is a vlogger and a blogger.
But the way that he was writing the story about Nathaniel is weaved into the story. I thought it was great. The music sounds great. It's a good movie.
Well, we're gonna go. Me and the wife have a date on Friday. Got two movies.
We're gonna see the Earth movie with the kids.
That's today.
Okay.
Then we got Allison. We're gonna celebrate anniversary and birthday this Friday with Beyonce's new movie and The Soloist probably. And a red velvet cake. And that's my gift.
Let's talk to Chris.
The diet, by the way, it's up and down, Charles. I was down 30.
Down 30.
Down 30.
Damn.
I eased back.
Eased back
I
what?
gained 14 pounds
What?
back. Yes.
In weeks?
No.
Okay.
Down 30 was early. No, yeah,
Okay.
over months.
Okay.
And shout out
What was you gonna say?
to Teddy Coates, because we got a group here. Kevin here also works here at the Sun. A group of about 6 guys. We're like almost like AA, you know. We're like holding each other's hands and encouraging, you know, like 6 fat guys just trying to stay
Just
focused.
trying to make it happen.
Yeah, it's real nice. It's a nice little group. We got a whole chart and everything.
All right. Okay.
Anyone care?
I need to get on the bike, man. I'm about ready to gear up my own little workout plan for the summer.
Stay tuned.
Get my Lance Armstrong on. Let's say hello to Christopher today. Christopher, his comment is, money isn't worth dying for, much less taking out your entire family.
Amen, Christopher.
And Sandra makes this statement. She says, whatever happened to people readjusting when times are bad?
I know, that's a good point. People are, people seem to be very weak these days.
You know,
I mean, what's going on? You're right. I'm with you, son. What happened? Butch up! Our grandparents, Big Mama went through a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Diabetes, legs cut off, kids in the war, Vietnam. What's wrong with this generation? It's only been hard times for a year. It's been hard for like 8 months. People jumping out buildings.
But the problem.
You see the dude, the guy that killed the guy with you mentioned earlier, his house in Virginia, just beautiful estate. I would have just went outside and laid in the grass for a few minutes. I bet you never.
That would have made you feel better.
Have you ever just laid on some wet grass? Just laid out there like, oh, this is wonderful. I mean, I guess he's gonna lose all that. Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe so.
I thought Fannie Mae had their thing anyway, right? They got refinanced. They're back in the game.
Well, he's not in the game with him.
No, this didn't kill his family.
Jeez.
I couldn't find him in that big house.
We're gonna get to Big Fish in a moment. He said, talk about something fun. Sorry, Big Fish. We're just concerned about what's going on in the world.
I told you, Big Fish.
All this old trivial stuff, Big Fish. We'll get to you in a minute.
Fish is right. The green movement killed us, Troy.
Mark,
Mr.
hey,
Sun,
these are things.
blow up the earth.
These are things that need to be discussed.
People want to laugh. American Idol.
That's
Did you
what
see
the
American Idol
problem
last
is.
night?
You don't make me go into
Did
my
you see
rant
American
about it.
Idol last night?
No, I didn't.
Troy has been complaining about people not thinking. Man, Troy, people don't want to think.
That's
They want to have fun.
You're asking why there's a problem.
People want to have fun, enjoying their life.
Mark, okay, all right, fine. We can go on and on about it. Let me just mention one more thing.
You Big Fish.
Let me mention one more thing
Yes.
that ties into the economy.
Death and gloom, Troy. Yes.
No, this is interesting. I saw this article in the Consumerist website, consumerist.com. General Motors' greatest invention, was it the car? No. According to the article, they say it's credit. It looks like the company's most important idea was consumer credit. More specifically, as they say in the article, convincing a nation of thrifty, debt-adverse tightwads back in the day
Our grandparents.
that taking on debt was socially acceptable. We weren't debt junkies.
Yeah.
In 1919, GM was trying to catch up with the world's #1 automaker, Ford. So General Motors created the automobile loan. 1919, 1920, they create the GMAC, General Motors Acceptance Corporation, allowing people to buy more expensive cars, essentially by going into debt.
That's
This
it.
moment in history brought to you by.
Yeah.
So there you go. Didn't know that, did you?
Let me just say this, because we are proud in our household of this fact. Our cars are both paid off. Troy.
Good.
No more car notes for us.
Good for you, man.
We're gonna lose the house next week. But
Now,
my car.
let's move on to Big Fish.
Big Fish.
He wants to talk about the Ravens
Yeah.
and the draft.
That's what Big Fish. That's what I'm talking about. Who cares about Earth Day? The draft. This is what I think, Troy.
Yeah.
We need, first of all, don't trade up anymore. The days of trading up are over. Now let's trade down. That's my first thing because of the economy. All right?
Okay. I'm listening.
Now, actually, the Ravens as a team, as a franchise, we do a good job with the draft. I would say probably
Ozzie is the man.
they do a very good job. I would probably say Big Fish, and you hit us back too because we can go back and forth. I'm saying linemen. I'm saying we got I think we have 3 young star offensive linemen. We probably need a couple tackles, I imagine. I would probably add a couple more linemen to the mix. I know deep threat receiver is what we always talk about. Some say we should go with the Cardinal.
Anquan Bolden.
But I don't know if
I like
trust
that.
another name Anquan.
I like that man. He wants to get out of Arizona.
Okay.
He's a big premier wide receiver.
But he's actually a tight end.